You ever notice how everyone keeps telling you to work hard? Yeah, that's the big one. Work hard and you'll get ahead. Work hard and you'll make it. Work hard and you'll live the dream. Oh, really? The dream, you ever notice they never actually tell you whose dream it is? Because I think someone swapped the tapes while we were asleep. Somewhere between punching in and punching out, working hard, stopped being a virtue and turned into the world's biggest inside joke, and we're the punchline. Think about it. From the time you're a kid, they start feeding you that sweet, chewy nonsense. Do your homework, work hard, and you'll be successful. So you do it. You sit there with your little pencils and your multiplication tables, thinking you're on your way to something big. Then you grow up and realize, oh no, turns out all that hard work just prepared you to. Do more hard work. Surprise, you don't win a prize, you win a job. You go from crayons to keyboards, from recess to break rooms, and suddenly success looks suspiciously like being tired all the time. Now don't get me wrong, I respect people who put in effort, but there's a difference between working hard and being worked. Somewhere along the line, they turned working hard into a slogan, like just do it, or I'm loving it. It's marketing. And it works beautifully, because once you buy into it, you'll do anything they say, stay late, pick up an extra shift, be a team player. Yeah, the only team you're on is called Overtime United, and your mascot is a guy eating lunch over a keyboard. See, the system figured something out a long time ago. If they can convince you that suffering is noble, they never have to pay you enough to stop suffering. You'll do it proudly. You'll brag about it. I work 70 hours a week. Well, congratulations, you just described a hostage situation. But people clap for that because we've been trained to equate exhaustion with achievement. The less sleep you get, the more respect you earn. Oh, he's a hard worker. Yeah, he's also one bad email away from a nervous breakdown. And then there's the ultimate joke. Work hard and you'll move up the ladder. What ladder? The thing's missing half its rungs, and the people at the top are pulling it up as you climb. You ever notice that the folks who say work hard and you'll succeed are always the ones already succeeding? They love to give that advice. It's their favorite sermon. You just gotta put your nose to the grindstone. Yeah, that's easy to say when your grindstone is made of marble and comes with a 401k. Meanwhile, the rest of us are out here grinding so hard we're down to dust. And for what? So we can buy things to make ourselves feel better about all the time we lost working to buy them. That's not a system, that's a hamster wheel with mood lighting. You can decorate it all you want, but you're still going nowhere, just faster. The funniest part is how hard work somehow got turned into a moral issue. Like if you're not constantly working, you're lazy, you're ungrateful, you're un-American. They treat rest like it's a crime. Oh, you're taking a day off. Yeah, I am. You know why. Because I've been working like a machine, and I'd like to remember what being human feels like. But they don't want you thinking that way. They want you to feel guilty for breathing. You can almost hear it. Don't just stand there, do something. No, how about this time I stand there and think something? They sell working hard, the same way they sell detergent. Bright label, catchy slogan, no mention of the side effects. Because the moment you stop buying into it, you start asking questions. Like, if hard work equals success, why are the hardest workers I know broke? Why are the people doing the actual labor, the ones cleaning, building, fixing, driving, barely making rent, while someone in an air-conditioned office overseeing operations gets the bonus check? I'll tell you why. Because working hard was never about getting ahead. It was about keeping you in line, and you can see it everywhere. Every motivational poster, every company meeting, every speech from some shiny executive. We're a family here. Oh yeah, name one family that makes you ask permission to use the bathroom. These people love pretending your loyalty is part of some grand moral code. They want you to believe that being overworked is a sign of character. He's a real hard worker. Yeah, and I'm sure he'd love to see his kids before they graduate college. It's a beautiful scam when you think about it. They convince you to do more work for less money while thanking them for the opportunity. You ever notice people say that, "Thanks for the opportunity"? What opportunity? The chance to develop back pain and anxiety, the opportunity to call your boss sir, while he calls you by your first name like he's doing you a favor. It's brilliant. The people who invented this system should be teaching magic tricks. And here's the kicker, the ones at the top. They don't work hard. They work clever. They hire you to work hard. They figured out how to make money while other people sweat. And then they had the nerve to make hard work a virtue, so you'd feel bad if you didn't want to be exploited. That's not a work ethic. That's a mind game. They're not running a company. They're running a cult. It's almost poetic when you see it for what it is. You've got millions of people running around like caffeinated squirrels, thinking that the next promotion, the next raise, the next title will finally make them happy, and it never does, because the goalposts keep moving. You're not supposed to win. You're supposed to keep trying. That's the real trick. Keep working, keep buying, keep believing. Because if you ever stop to look around, you might realize the whole thing's a setup. So when they say, "Work hard and you'll get ahead," I can't help but laugh, because I know what they really mean is, work hard so we can get ahead. And that's the punchline right there. They've been telling the same joke for generations, and we keep laughing with them instead of at them. But here's the truth. They need you to believe in hard work. Because if you ever stopped believing, if you ever realized your value isn't measured in hours clocked or calls made or boxes checked, the whole illusion would crack wide open. And once that happens, you stop being controllable, you stop being scared, you start living. You know what really cracks me up? This whole idea that if you just work hard, in this beautiful free market carnival, everything will magically fall into place. Yeah, sure it will, right after the tooth fairy pays your mortgage. The whole setup's like a stand-up routine that never ends except the joke's on you, and you're the only one who didn't get paid for performing. They've been telling us for years, work hard, play by the rules, and you'll make it. But you ever notice the people who make it seem to be the same ones who wrote the rules in the first place? It's like showing up to play Monopoly and realizing the banker owns the hotel you're staying in. They sell this dream, right? A nice, shiny dream. You can see it in the commercials. Happy people with perfect teeth, driving to jobs they apparently love, drinking coffee like it's a trophy for waking up. Work hard and you'll live the dream. Yeah, if by dream they mean the one where you're late for work, can't find your shoes, and your boss keeps calling you buddy, like you're 5 years old. That's not a dream, that's a rerun of anxiety. The comedy is that this isn't just a scam, it's a spiritual movement. They don't call it capitalism anymore, they call it hustle culture. It's a religion. The altar is your desk, the prayer is your to-do list, and salvation comes in the form of a direct deposit every 2 weeks. They even give you saints to worship, guys in turtlenecks who made billions selling you gadgets to waste the little free time you have left. He started with nothing but an idea and a garage. Yeah, and probably a trust fund, but let's not ruin the fairy tale. They've turned exhaustion into enlightenment. You see people bragging about how busy they are like it's a badge of honor. I worked 80 hours this week. Oh, that's great, you've officially worked your refrigerator. You never hear anyone say, "I slept 9 hours and took a walk today," because that doesn't fit the script. You gotta be tired, anxious, and halfway to a breakdown before they call you dedicated. We've got people who think their worth depends on how many unread emails they have. That's not success. That's neurosis with benefits, and the phrase American dream. Come on, that's the best punchline of all. You gotta be asleep to believe it, the idea that everybody's got an equal shot. Meanwhile, Some folks are born halfway up the ladder, and the rest of us are standing on the ground trying to rent the ladder. But the story's beautiful, isn't it? Keeps everyone smiling while they swipe their time cards. They make it sound noble. Work hard, save money, buy a house. Yeah, good luck with that when the bank owns both your paycheck and your pillow. The funniest part is how the system manages to make you feel bad for being tired of it. You ever tell someone you hate your job? The first thing they say is, well, at least you have a job. Oh, thank you. That's like telling a guy with food poisoning, at least you got to eat. They've trained us to be grateful for our own exhaustion. Every commercial, every slogan, every pep talk from some shiny suit on TV, it's all saying the same thing. Keep working, keep buying, keep believing. Because if you ever stop to look around, you might realize this whole machine is powered by your faith. And oh, they love their buzzwords: productivity, performance, growth. You notice none of those words sound human. Nobody says contentment or peace. No, it's all output. You're not a person anymore. You're a number, a graph, a spreadsheet. They don't even say people at work. They say resources. Human resources, that's right. You've been upgraded to a supply item next to paper clips and toner. It's all conditioning, man. Pure comedy gold. They give you slogans so you'll repeat them to yourself when you're miserable. Work smarter, not harder. Yeah, that's a good one. Until they make you do both. Teamwork makes the dream work. Whose dream? Because from where I'm standing, it looks like the dream's working for somebody else entirely. It's like we're extras in a movie we didn't audition for, and we're supposed to smile while we hold the boom mic. They even turn your identity into a job. Ask someone who they are, and they'll say, I'm a manager, I'm a barista, I'm a consultant. Nobody says, I'm a human being who likes jazz and naps. Because the system doesn't want you thinking that way. They want you defined by what you do, not who you are. That way, when they take your job, they take yourself, worth right along with it. Now that's efficient. And then there's the big corporate meetings. Oh, those are a masterpiece of performance art. You've got the CEO standing up front giving a speech about family and shared values while quietly plotting which family members to lay off after lunch. They love the language of unity. We're all in this together. Sure we are, except some of us are in the lifeboats and the rest are treading water in dress shoes. You ever sit through one of those motivational seminars? The kind with the PowerPoint slides and the guy in the expensive suit who tells you success is just a mindset. Yeah, I've seen that show. They'll tell you the difference between you and a millionaire is attitude. No, the difference is $1 million. But go ahead, change your attitude, see if your landlord takes optimism for rent. It's all a big cosmic joke. The system runs on irony. The people doing the hardest labor make the least money, and the people making the most money aren't laboring at all. And we keep clapping for them. He's a genius businessman. No, he's just good at convincing you to work while he takes a nap. That's not genius, that's delegation, and don't forget, they make sure you blame yourself. That's the real trick. If you're broke, it's because you didn't work hard enough. If you're stressed, it's because you didn't balance A properly. They'll sell you a self-help book to fix the problems their system created. And you'll buy it on credit. The irony's so thick you could butter your toast with it. Meanwhile, the rest of us are walking around calling it freedom. We call it opportunity. We put flags on it. But deep down we know the truth. It's just one big laugh track playing over a rerun we've all seen before. The scenery changes, the slogans change, but the punchline never does. You ever notice how everyone talks about working smart, like it's some kind of secret code? Don't work hard, work smart. Yeah, thanks, Einstein. That's like telling someone drowning, don't drown, swim. But here's the thing, they're right, sort of. The real trick isn't just about working smart. It's about realizing the whole game's been rigged, so you'll never have time to figure that out. You were never meant to win. You were meant to keep playing. And once you stop playing, once you see the game for what it is, that's when you finally get free. See, we've been sold this shiny little fairy tale about productivity. They call it ambition, drive, purpose, all these noble sounding words that really just mean keep making someone else richer. The system doesn't reward smarts, it rewards compliance. Work smart, in their book means find faster ways to do more work. It's not about thinking, it's about efficiency, and efficiency is just a fancy word for how quickly can we drain your soul while you smile about it. You ever meet one of those people who's proud of how busy they are? They'll tell you, "Oh, I'm just slammed, haven't taken a break in weeks." Yeah, congratulations, you've become the human version of a fax machine, constantly working, totally obsolete, and no one remembers how you got there. But that's what we're taught, right? If you're not working, you're wasting time. If you're relaxing, you're falling behind. Behind who? Nobody ever says who we're racing. I'd like to meet the guy at the finish line so I can tell him to shove that stopwatch somewhere safe. Here's what they don't want you to realize. The goal isn't to work harder or even smarter, it's to stop confusing work with life. Somewhere along the way, they merged the two, and we just went along with it. They gave it fancy titles, career fulfillment, professional passion. You ever hear those phrases and not laugh? Passion. You're supposed to have passion for your job. Yeah, because nothing says romance like quarterly reports and mandatory meetings. Oh baby, tell me more about the company vision statement. They want you to think fulfillment comes from your title, not your time. That's the joke. They turned freedom into a weekend and told you to feel lucky for it. 2 days off, and you're supposed to feel recharged. Yeah, sure. 2 days to undo 5 days of stress, traffic, bad coffee, and fake smiles. By Sunday night, you're already dreading Monday morning. They don't even give you a full 48 hours of peace. They take Sunday evening back with anxiety. That's theft. You lose a day before the week even starts. So the real working smart isn't about optimizing your output, it's about realizing the output isn't the point. The point is to get your time back, your thoughts back, your curiosity back. Working smart means you stop chasing imaginary carrots, because guess what? The carrot's plastic, and the guy holding the stick already ate. You can see it in the people who figured it out early, the ones who don't measure their days by how much they did, but by how much they enjoyed. You know those people. They're calm, content, maybe a little weird. They read books, take naps, talk to their neighbors. They're not stressed about maximizing productivity. They don't even use that phrase. They're busy living while everyone else is busy explaining why they can't. And here's the best part. They're not broke, they're not failures, they're just free. They stop trying to prove their worth through exhaustion. The real comedy is that most of the people we admire didn't even work hard the way we think they did. They didn't spend their lives in meetings or writing emails or pretending to look busy. They spent their time thinking, imagining, experimenting, doing less but meaning more. That's the secret they never put in the textbooks. Because if they told everyone, the whole economy would fall apart. You'd have millions of people suddenly realizing they don't need to spend half their lives performing busyness. And what would the bosses do then? Hold their own meetings, please. I've always found it funny how people say, time is money. No, it isn't. Time is time. Money you can get back. Time you can't. You trade your time for money and call it even, but it's not. It's the worst deal in history. It's like trading gold for glitter, but I need to make a living. Of course you do, but there's a difference between making a living and making your whole life about it. One's survival, the other's surrender, and it's wild how we've been trained to glorify the grind. People wear burnout like it's a badge of honor. Look at me, I haven't taken a vacation in 5 years. Yeah, and you look like you haven't smiled in 6. What are you proving? That you can suffer efficiently? That's not strength, that's programming. They tell you to hustle because the minute you stop, you might start asking questions. You might start wondering, why am I doing this? And who actually benefits? And they can't have that. Reflection's bad for business, so you want to work smart. Start by knowing when to stop. That's the smartest move you can make. Don't give every minute of your life to a system that thanks you with pizza parties and slogans. Take your minutes back. Spend them doing nothing if you want. Stare at the ceiling, walk outside, talk to someone who isn't in a rush. Learn something that doesn't earn anything. That's where life hides, between the things you're told don't matter. They make leisure sound lazy, but it's not. Leisure is rebellion, rest is protest. Joy is revolution in slow motion. Because when you start valuing your time, they lose control of it. You're no longer scared of being unproductive. You stop chasing more and start noticing enough. And that's terrifying to the people selling you the lie of endless potential. They can't sell you a dream if you're already awake. The truth is, the system only works if you believe it's the only way to live. But once you stop believing that, the walls start to crack. You realize life isn't something you earn, it's something you already have, and suddenly, working smart takes on a new meaning. It's not about clever strategies or time management. It's about refusing to measure your worth by how tired you are. Because when you stop confusing labor with purpose, when you finally understand that doing less can mean living more, that's when you win. That's when the laughter turns inward. Not because the joke's cruel, but because you finally got it.